Do timeouts, man. Why did Kelly cheat on you? What evidence do you have? Where's your proof that Kelly cheated on me? I've been dealing with trolling now for 7 years. Oh, I 100% have PTSD. I have nightmares still to this day.
And so, the thumb man who cheated his diet outside Good Springs cheated his diet once again. After the Battle of London, many thought it was the push Richard needed to finally change once and for all. At first, tourists arrived in masses, showing support. Eventually, some got bored. Others left when Richard's true nature inevitably started to show once more. In the new world of Trailer 101, team bullying continued. Pepsi was spilled, and many laughed and enjoyed, just as they had in the old world. Because Wings never changes.
Junebug, to do timeouts, man. It's time to go do the world's greatest DLC, Nuka World. To play New Vegas, I'd have to play on PC, and I don't feel like playing on PC. I honestly just really want to do a chatting stream, but I don't know. I don't feel like a whole lot of people are going to show up this late at night. So it is what it is. So I figured I'd just play Fallout. So if people don't show up, I can still just play something without just be sitting here looking at the screen. Billy Breath, I'm good at Rainbow too, man. What you don't see is how hard the Rainbow matches I've been actually are. Billy Breath, what do I do bad at Rainbow? Everything. Alright, Billy Breath. You just don't know what you're talking about, so I'm not gonna discredit you. To say I'm bad at droning and doing call outs, or knowing the things and not getting spawn peaked, I'm not an asset to the team. It's just being disingenuous, man. Why did Kelly cheat on you? When did she cheat on me? What evidence do you have? You tried to warn me about fixing the bathroom. What did you say? You don't really need to become a purified water salesman, to be perfectly honest. End ACL. Again, I asked you, where's your proof that Kelly cheated on me? I haven't stopped streaming yet. Did a mass unban last stream. Anorexia should be unbanned. Everybody should be unbanned. So your proof to tell me is I saw proof on Reddit. Some guy made a post. He also said your mother owns your house. I don't know, dude. My mother does own my house, but look, man. Sabrina Hardy and Jordy Jordan. That's a state farm bill for homeowners insurance on the house. My name is on the deed. Sabrina Hardy. Sabrina Hardy. Sabrina Hardy. Let me tell you a secret about trolls in general. If trolls have something, they'll share it. If they pretend they have something, they don't got anything. I've been dealing with trolling now for 7 years, and I can tell you from experience. Don't believe the hype. If they had something, they'd share it. There's no conspiracy theory. There's no photos they're holding on to for a better situation. Yeah, I ended up transporting the cow for free. That's why I didn't do anything yesterday, because I spent 14 hours yesterday. Well, it's actually 2 days I didn't stream. I spent 14 hours one day, and I was just exhausted when I got back. So I slept, and then I woke up this morning, and Kelly was going to take a bath to go to church, and then the hot water faucet on the tub busted, and I had to deal with that all day today. So I had to pinch that off with some vice grips, and then I had to go get I went to get a faucet and some braided line at Lowe's, and I got the braided line, but they didn't have any. My house was built in '99, and they didn't use braided line on the water thing. They didn't have shut-off valves either in the water line, so I went and bought 2 shut-off valves, some braided line, 1/2 inch, and then they didn't sell any faucets. So they won't sell any Roman style tub faucets, so I had to special order one. So I can't fix the bathtub until Friday, and then I had to do my side job. Now here I am. I was just going to take the day off, but it's Maybe I'll make a little money. Maybe I'll make a little money. The roof is about to collapse. Nah, the roof ain't about to collapse. I just put a new roof on the house. My brother didn't do the roof. AKA Tangible. You realize that your other account's unbanned now too, right? You ain't got to be on your alt. I mean, NACL. Are you celibate by choice? How much do I actually get from a $2 donation? Right around $1.12 or something like that. $1.12, $1.20, something around that ballpark. But look at it this way. I lose about 40% of every donation. So if you donate $100, I'd get about $65 after taxes, and YouTube takes this cut. But this use that as a rough estimate. Hey Justin, anorexia is unbanned. Everybody's unbanned. I've only got 3 people banned right now on my chain, and those three people are always banned. Honestly, I don't like PayPal. I'd rather YouTube take their cut, so I don't have to deal with any chargebacks. Because like $1,000 worth of chargebacks every fucking month wasn't fun.
What happened to you?
I don't know who Chocolate Lightning is, man. NACL, look, why are you like this, Beanie Dog? Yet you sit here and watch me get to level 200. What did I say about you, Kirby? We can all see it, bud. There's no such thing as shadow banning on here. I'm scared of your question, bud. WingsOfRedemption, Chocolate Lightning is accusing you of doxing him because you posted his picture on Twitter. Any comment? I don't know who that is. There was a big fight between me and Kelly? I don't remember me and Kelly having a big fight. Be perfectly honest. Hey, go free and pimps. He won't ask to be mod again. He's unbanned. I promise you, he's unbanned. I need to go get me something to drink and something to eat so I can eat into the microphone. Dude, my legs have been killing me though. Like, absolutely killing me. I want you to click over here and look at this, boys. Alright, you see this? Nitro, 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 nitro. Pat Bell, nitro. That's all that's popping up right now, just nitro. Alright, I've already engaged with the whole Kelly stuff. Kelly hasn't cheated on me. Kelly's not going to cheat on me. I forgot what I was doing. What was I supposed to be doing? Is it true you ate pizza at 4 a.m.? Do you see the state of your boy? Is it that hard to believe? How much health does your chair have? Would you rather fight 100 chicken-sized horses or 3 horse-sized chickens? 100 chicken-sized horses. Let's wait for our health to get back up. Why am I avoiding it? Like, why would I bother giving it any fucking credibility? Like, all it does is stir the pot. Like, if you want to see me listen to that rap video. Why don't I play with Bliss anymore? He called me bad and that he carried me a long time ago. People try to hold Wings accountable for what?
I promise you.
Like, you show up to my stream, man. I've done nothing to nobody.
Consider it done.
That's what I like to hear. All right.
Forgive what I've done. I've done nothing.
Are you ready to go? Let's do this!
Say you.
Good.
Sure.
There are 3. Thanks to Colt.
Yay, let's go.
Count me in.
That's the. No, I'm sure. Meet.
Gage.
You guys are weird. Wings, how much for a full playthrough of Terraria? I don't know how to play that, man. Why Pepsi over Coke? I actually prefer, what is the red here? It seems like there's just a lot of trolls out right now. Nah, Kelly's not mad at me. No, I was only going to stream like an hour or so. Like, I'm probably going to go to bed here soon. Let's see, Wings, why do you never answer any of my legitimate questions? I don't bother paying attention. Like, all you care about is that troll shit, dude.
I can fix this.
I've been dealing with that shit for 7 years, and you've asked the same questions that everybody else folks in there and asks.
Look,
it's played out.
The thing you gotta do is you don't have to try.
No, I don't play Fallout 76. Oh, my lord. Can I tell you more Mechglass stories? Like, what do you want to hear about Mechglass? Time for pizza. Little chatting. Yeah, because I'm getting sleepy. I come to think that I put the Jordan family curse on the Braves. Tidy up, yeah, it's messy back here, but it's not. It's cluttered. It's not dirty. How did you quit Mechglass? I didn't quit. Like, the housing crash caused me to quit. Like, around 2008. I'm not gonna pretend I know what happened, but something happened with loans and housing, and it caused the banks to pull back a lot of loans and restructure how they do business. It affected how our customers that bought our material Mechglass did loans. So, like, we went from having like 3.5 years of back orders to having 2 weeks of orders. Well, when you're running 2 weeks of orders 24/7, that shit gets done in like 4 days. And now you got 200, you got 3 or 4 crews of men standing around. So MetGlass let us paint everything. Paint the crane, paint the walls. There was a place to paint, we painted it for about a month. And then at that point, they're like, we ain't got no work for you. Or the work was coming in so slowly, they didn't need 4 full crews. Being one of the youngest men, I was one of the first ones laid off. They wanted to keep people that been there a while, show loyalty to them. And I started doing this. MetGlass is a company I used to work for. It stands for metallic glassy, which is a type of metal that you put in transformer cores. The idea is like when you live in a rural area, there's these transformers that sit on a light pole. Inside that transformer is a core of very magnetic metal. The electricity comes in a line, and the magnetics of that metal actually amp the electricity back up, and it goes out on the line again, because as it travels the line, it like loses some of the juice. Every time it hits a transformer, it kind of like picks its health back up, like in video game terms. Like it amps it back up so it can go further and further out away from the source. That's what we made. We made transformer cores. We also made the sensors and like metal detectors. But that was a different story. I was a crane operator, and I ran the crane in the melt deck. There weren't no janitorial positions. I didn't fall from the deck. I fell from a platform on the front of the melter, which is essentially falling from the deck. But it wasn't like a straight fall. It wasn't like this. Like say this plate, the melt deck, right? This is the front of the melter. I had a platform sitting on the melter. And the melter goes forward and back. It can tilt like this and this. Well, set a platform on here. This platform would sit on the front of the melter with a crane, so that you could lower it and raise it. When you got on the crane, there's straps that you had to be taken out. So the way we did is somebody would get on the platform and remove the straps, which was my job at the time. Well, when I got on the platform, I removed this set of straps on the right side, and I was going to move the left straps. Well, the guy holding the crane pressed it up, and all I heard was ding, 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 and this unseated it from the melter, and it went like this, right? And the weight of this platform unseating and my fat ass too pulled on the block of the crane, so it went wham like this, and then the brakes caught it, and then the first set of brakes busted, and then wham like this, and then the second brakes caught it, and then it started like that, and now it's floating like this. And now, on this platform, there's these rails around the edge of the platform. They're called safety rails. And the platform itself was like a mesh, like a hard mesh you see in video games. I had my fingers dug into it like this, because as soon as it deseated, I fell right into the floor against the safety rail. And the first thing I did is I digged my fingers into the platform itself. So like now I'm hanging on this platform that's hanging on lanyards, and like, now everybody's like code red, code red. Code red was what they would say in the MetGlass world. That's when some shit hits the fan. That's when the fire department, everybody else gets called. What ended up happening was that I couldn't get my fall gear on because you weren't required to wear your fall gear, and I was hanging over a pit that was about 5 stories high, so about the size of like your standard, whatever 5 stories, like a water slide at a water park or something like that. And I fell like 2.5 stories before the brakes caught it on the crane. And basically what the end of the day is that like I literally had to like have them pick the crane up. So they basically picked the crane back up like this. Like it was like ding, 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 and it was swaying like this right here. And I ended up climbing the safety rails to get back onto the deck. That's how I got off, because we couldn't get the fire truck back there or anything like that. There was no way to get to me from where I was at. So I ended up having to like literally like climb over the safety rails and get back on the deck that way. I remember the next day, like all these muscles like from the tips of my finger all the way to my elbow on both arms. I felt like every muscle had been stripped out. Like I grabbed onto that grate so hard. Remember, I was like 330 pounds too. I wasn't a lightweight. But I grabbed on that and I clenched so hard that I had stripped almost every muscle of my forearms out. There's no way in hell I climbed. I got people that will vouch for me climbing. There's multiple people that witnessed it. It was honestly, that was about an hour after the initial fall. Like I was hanging there for like an hour. Did the guy get fired? No. He got rode up. But generally what you're supposed to do is after you seat the platform, you were supposed to cut because the crane ran off a controller. Not like this. It was like a box, but it was a box. It was like this big square box you hung around your neck, and there was 4 buttons. There was a button to make the block go, north to south, and then there was another button that made the crane go east to west. And then there was a button that goes up and down, and there's a little toggle switch that turned the magnet on and off, and there's a couple other buttons, right? What does this have to do with Fallout? People were asking me like how I fell at Met Glass. I hung there an hour at my weight. It was hanging, but after everything like stopped and slowed down, I was able to put my feet onto the safety rails, so my legs were carrying most of my weight. I wasn't hanging from my fingers, and initially I was keeping myself stable with my fingers and my arms when the initial fall happened. But after like all the energy from like the platform dissipated, I was able to like put my feet on the safety rails and use my legs to carry my weight. I fell about 2.5 stories before the brakes kicked in and knocked the wind out of me. I didn't realize what was happening until like it was almost done with. Like it happened so fast. Like it's all you hear is like go 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 boom 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 boom. It's like everything's muscle instinct at that point. It actually it didn't fall flat on my face. I fell on my face because I was actually walking towards the other thing, and then like I'm walking like this, and then the platform falls like this. I fell straight on my face like this. Like bang, hard hat fell off, everything. I fell straight on my face. Because I had this, I had a hard hat on, big safety glass. I had this big silver coat on. Because what I was going to go do was clean the inlet. So I had like these I had these big breaker bars and these slag paddles on the inlet, and they weighed about 45 pounds apiece. They went cascading into the... If I fell into the pit, I was dead. I was 100%... Because my hard hat fell off, and it cracked in 2 from the fall. Because in the pit itself, there was like these... Think of it like you go... You know how when you sit in your car and you move your seat back and forth, there's these rails on it that your seat rides on? The melter had the same type of rails, like where it would ride forward and back on. And those rails were covered in metal that was just jagged rocks, basically, from like where like metal had fell out the spout and stuff like that. It had been like falling, 50 feet onto like jagged rocks. The pit is the place underneath the melter for like things to happen. Like when you bust slag off of the chute or you're repairing the spout, there's this big hole in front of the melter that you can throw stuff down into. It's kind of a place that if something was to be catastrophically fail, you could back pour all the metal into the pit, and it's like a fail safe. You can't. Met Glass doesn't allow any cameras in the warehouse section, so there's no photos inside of Met Glass. But what year did this happen? Oh, this was 2007 ish, 2006, 2007 ish. I hate to think about it, but like I think World at War was out, so it might have been 2007, early 2008. Well, I'm remembering back because I remember like the night before I had bought my HD PVR. and that was like a huge turning point in my life, because like I was playing Search and Destroy with Taylor, and like you get sniped and like noobs below here, and that was like my little crew. We played like Search and Destroy, and Taylor had just got a Dazzle, and I went and bought a Dazzle, and I hated it because I had an HD TV at the time. I was making good money, right? I just didn't have no money. I just didn't have nothing to spend it on. I had like $50,000-$60,000 in my savings account at this point. So I had this 52-inch Samsung HD TV, like one of the first like big screen HD TV flat panels, and I realized I couldn't use the Dazzle on it without having to play in like 480p. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. So I went and bought I went and bought a Hyapog HD PVR, and I bought high component cables, and I remember that vividly right before I got the fall. No, Taylor as in Z7 Taylor. He's the guy who got me started on YouTube, because I was actually helping Z7 Taylor with his YouTube channel. Like we were creating ideas and like doing stuff. And like then Hutch discovered Taylor because we were doing like the gun history thing, and Hutch gave Taylor a shout out, and then Taylor gave me a shout out, because Taylor got 10,000 subs and I got 1,000 from Taylor, and that was my start of my YouTube channel. Yeah, I remember hard 8 times. Oh, I 100% have PTSD from that class. To put it this way, like I have nightmares still to this day, 17 years later. Well, I call them nightmares, but like I'll have a dream, like I'm at work and I'm doing something, and I'll do something wrong, like I'll get in trouble for it, and they'll like be lecturing me, or I'm just having a dream I'm at work doing the same monotonous tasks over and over again, like I'm at the weigh station putting metal in the charge buckets and moving the charge buckets around, and just the monotonous like sound of like the metal being cast, where it's like and you have the crane, because the crane, every time the crane moves, it had a bell on it, and it would be like bing, 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 bing. Yeah, and that like just the same monotonous sounds over and over again, and like I'll just wake up and be like, oh, I'm asleep. And like I used to have those dreams when I worked at Met Glass, and those were the worst dreams, like where it felt like you worked a 4-hour shift, and then you woke up and then you had to go work a 12-hour shift. So now, like your brain just turned that 12-hour shift into a 16-hour shift, and you're fucking groggy because you never sleep good when you're dreaming like that. I was more miserable working during Met Glass than I've ever been with the trolling. I worked there from like age of 19 to about 23, so about 4 years. Working on my 5th year. Yeah, some people are trapped there. Like I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and I'm thinking about it now, and I was going to say something about it during the Boogie episode that we recently done. By the way, go watch the Boogie episode. Boogie's brother came in and we talked about Boogie's like home life and stuff like that. I remember when the Sago mine incident happened, and like we had this break room, and in this break room there was one TV, and that TV was only on Fox News. We weren't allowed to change the channel or nothing else. It was on Fox News. So every time you went to the break room, you was going to watch Fox News, right? And I remember standing there miserable as hell. I'm tired. I'm eating out of the machine that day. But that's a whole nother story. I remember standing there, and like I think an explosion or something happened, and it killed like 11 people or 12 people, and they found one person alive. But they didn't know how many people were alive. So like they were under the idea that people were talking to them in the coal mines. It was called the Sago mine, SAGO. And I remember standing there. I was in my silver coat, and I just took my hard hat off, and I had these big Coke bottle like safety glasses, and like my safety glass would always like keep sliding on my face. So I had like these like almost like librarian like things clipped on the back of them so I could tie them, so like they'd sit tight on my face so they wouldn't slide down my nose and cause bumps. And I'm sitting there thinking like, well, at least I'm not in a hole today, because as bad as my job is, I'm not in a deep dark dungeon dying right now. My life sucks, but at least I don't. At least their life sucks more than mine. No, MechLass is not the worst job I can think of. Like honestly, they treated their employees as best as they could, but they didn't give a fuck about your personal life, right? Like if you had a family, or you had like some type of life outside of work, no, you didn't. MechLass was your life, but they gave you they had good benefits. They gave you lots of money. Like even when they were losing money, they still gave as many people as many hours as they possibly could before like laying people off. Like I can't badmouth MechLass on any of like the like worker things. The only issue is like they asked too much of your time. It was way too much. There was no balance between work and home life. So like if they had to get a product out, that product got out. No, I never beat Pierre in the thing. My channel died. My channel's dead, though. What are you talking about? My channel dies. No, Pierre was a guy that was, he worked on the line. He made right around the same money I made, you know, which was like about $26 an hour. And like he was burning through his money so quickly he couldn't afford to eat. Like he didn't bring food with him, and he didn't have no money to eat out the machines. Because we had vending machines in the break room, so he would steal food, and he was stealing everybody's food, and he started stealing my shit. Because like I would bring like a pizza sometimes, and I'd put it in the refrigerator, and I'd come back and like half my pizza's eaten, right? Or I'd get McDonald's or Burger King, and I would put my bag in the refrigerator so I could eat it during lunch. I'd come back and my bag would be in the trash can. So like you think you got Burger King had a Western Whopper at this point. I'd get me a Western Whopper on the way to work, and I'd put it in the refrigerator, and I'd come in thinking I was going to have me a Western Whopper. Nah, this was like a Domino's pizza. Nah, I went to work at 7 o'clock at night, and I got off at 7 o'clock in the morning. So they would serve, so I'd be able to get burgers. It wasn't breakfast time. The views haven't dropped on locale. So you guys look at shit so wrong, right? You guys are looking at like some edited episode that is hard to follow the narrative for, right? Look at Locale Live right now. Locale Live. Let's go to videos. And you'd be like, all right, this video is getting over 1,000 views an hour. You're looking at like, oh, this one's a week old. It's got 13,000 views. This has only got 30,000 views. They're doing about the same, man. Like, here's Cyrex. Cyrex got 60,000 views, right? The Dick Mashups have got 42,000 views. 33. Boogie Shoes Fight got 50,000 views. Like, the live show, like, re-edit never gets more than, like, 10 to 15,000 views. You know, like, because you're basing everything off of, like, this stuff, right? Stuff that's almost 6 months old now with hundreds of thousands of views. Like, all this stuff right here will get to these numbers eventually as people watch them throughout the years. You can't sit there and compare, like, PKA numbers on an episode that's been sitting out for, like, 9 months to, like, something that came out today. Right? That's not how YouTube works. You're just being a butthole. Sub count rate has not gone down. I know what the sub counts are. Is it stagnated a little bit? Yeah, but it's still in the upward trend. I'm getting voted off? No. Here's the deal, right? I had started my stream 6 minutes before Keemstar decided to stream Friday. And what I was doing was creating content for him. That's it. The show's only been out 6 months, Crasco. We've only been at 40K for like a month and a half now. My channel's dead. My channel, I gained 111 subscribers last month. The month before that, I gained 23. And a vast majority of those are people making new accounts to come back in here with like another name. It is what it is. Nothing set in stone. You're always going to end up being Friends Season 7. Nah, I'm probably going to go to bed here soon. It's like 3:30 in the morning now.